Alright, what's up guys, it's Mitchell or Deity, and in today's video we're going to be talking about speed, how to get speed gear, how at least I get speed gear, my methods for newer players, like 6 months or newer versus 1 year versus 2 years, how I would go about trying to up your speed game. So speed in Epic 7, my motto always through playing was if you aren't first, you're last. I always try to manipulate the first turn to put myself at the advantage. To move forward. It's just the way I've always played, and I've sacrificed a lot of bruiser gear. As you can see, I have units like Crow that are just built terribly, and this is like some of my like decent. Well, I guess this is free gear, not the best example, but they're like I don't really have Soul Weaver gear, Night gear, stuff like that because I hard focus speed so much. But over the time of all the mistakes I made trying to get speed gear, and seeing all the pieces that thinking about or not seeing thinking about all the pieces I sold that could have been good for other units, I would like to kind of go into gear at least to an extent. So going in, my faster units are currently Falcon or Clary. This is one thing I will talk about is you see this is an effectiveness set on 21 speed. So normally I don't know if you would roll this or like people would see this and be like, oh, this isn't perfect. When you're going for speed, you just have to not care. If you see speed, you roll it. But I'll go over my process. These boots, you can go on broken sets as long as you're going pretty fast. So, and then it's going to then come down to how you draft. So also people who use units like Faithless Lytica to speed contest, you got to remember using Faithless Lytica. As you see, she has a 114 base speed. 114 base speed versus a 124 base speed, you're sitting yourself at a 12 speed disadvantage instantly because of speed set. So right away, being at a 12, 13 speed disadvantage, trying to speed race with a slower unit is going to be just detrimental. You're going to lose most of the time because you're just at that disadvantage. You can do less quality pieces on a unit with 124 base speed. ML Rin, Lytica, I believe Kyrick has it as well, but Kyrick isn't. But they're just, these are the speed contesting units. Sid, Assassin Coley are also two good options, but they require actual stats. So ML Rin, Fire Lytica don't require like any stat. You can even forego effectiveness if you're going to draft them into and try to send back a Flitica. If you're going to try to send back an A-Lot, so they usually don't have effect res. So by building a unit like this with basically zero effectiveness, but just on your fastest gear, then you're fine. You can do broken sets, you can do whatever. Just put your fastest gear on. If one of your free pieces, the free pieces of gear, the 75 health set, the 75 attack set, if it rolled 19 speed and you're like, well, I don't even know what to do with this, you can slap it on this. I just helped a friend build, it was like a 280 Fire Lytica, and he had, I think, 2 of his attack pieces rolled insane speed. So he was able to just throw those on and then put speed set with it. So know that going in, my fastest gear right now is 299. If I were to put, like, so this was 15, if I would have put the Flurry necklace on this and change out the ring as well, and then switch over to actual speed set chest, I can go 299. But one thing that I'm going to say, this is going to start off for newer players. If you've been in the game for like 6 months, if you're trying to figure out how do I get to that next tier of speed, Judith is also a 117 speed unit. She's one of the best, like, for arena that you can build early, just because of that. She gives CR push and she has really good base. And going into this, I just want to show that if you are rolling, or if you're farming Wyvern, for example, and you get speed set 4 speed blue piece, it doesn't matter the other stats on it. If you are not above like 250 speed on your fastest unit, you need to always roll those to +3. If it's speed set with 4 speed, if it's a helmet, ring, necklace, doesn't matter the main stat, doesn't matter anything. You have to, when you're trying to do speed, you have to not be picky. You have to just take the stats that you give. So if you have a helmet with 4 speed, 6 effect res, that's blue, or 4 speed, 4 effect res, or flat defense, 4 speed, flat defense on a helmet, you roll that if it's blue, and then you roll it to +3. Only +3, because that's super minimal resources put into it, and then you can feed that into another piece later to continue progression. So by doing a 4 speed blue piece, then you can, then if it rolls 4 speed, you're already at 8 speed. If it rolls speed again, you're at 12 speed on a speed piece. And then that reforges to 14 speed. A 14 speed on every piece, Fire Lytica or ML Rin, gives you 270 speed. So by just rolling those blue pieces, and then if you can mix some of those blue pieces in with the purple and red pieces that you got that actually got speed, then you can get up to 270 plus speed at a much, much faster rate than you could otherwise. So even if you roll 4 speed and then you roll 3 speed after and it's 11 on a blue piece, it's almost worth plus 15ing because you could get 15 speed, which reforges to 18 because you had 3 speed rolls go into it. So Blue gear is definitely something to look into as a newer player. So I'm going to do a couple of crafts. I do need chests right now. So I'm just going to do I'll just do a 10 craft to make this faster because I don't want this video to be too long. I just want to explain my process. So going into this. So with this piece is actually amazing. I'll go ahead. So if it's speed set on an epic piece, the way I play the game is speed set on an epic piece, you're going to keep it. The minimum roll for a red piece is 2. The maximum roll is 5, but the 5 is very, very rare. I've only ever got like 2. So if it has any semblance of speed on any kind of speed set, you're going to keep it. And you're going to roll it. And then you're going to roll it to... I roll it personally to +6. If it doesn't roll speed on either of those, then I evaluate the other rolls. So if I roll this, it rolls 1 roll into effectiveness, 1 roll into defense, and they're high rolls. Then I'll roll it to +9. If it doesn't get speed there, then it's a little rough. I probably won't keep it. But... so this, for example, so it has 3 speed. If this piece were to have 4 speed on a blue piece, this could be a very, very good piece if it rolls. You just roll to +6. It's super cheap to do. If it gets up to 11, 12 speed and you don't have that much speed yet, then this blue piece can be with you for the entirety of the game. It's just something to try. So you basically need to evaluate your fastest speed that you have. So this I wouldn't personally roll because it's 2 speed on a purple. So the way I do 3 speed on a purple, this is where you have to decide whether or not, because it's a different set. So yeah, it's not speed. But the thing that I think a lot of players do is this piece is pretty garbage looking. It has stats for Soul Weaver. If it was on speed set, it would be pretty good. If this was on immunity, it'd be pretty good. But with it being on effectiveness set, you'd be like, where am I going to use this? But if this had 4 speed, you roll that. Because if this rolls 4 speed at +3, it's already at 8 +3, or 4 speed at +6, it's 12 speed. And if you get it again and get 16, that's already a 19 speed piece, possibly 24 speed piece, I believe. So by doing that, you give yourself the opportunity to have, yes, it is going to be a broken set piece, but you can throw this on a Judith. You can throw this on anything where their stats don't matter because they're taking turn 1 and setting yourself up to win immediately. And if you put it on ML Rin, it is effectiveness set. So you could get, if you have 2 effectiveness pieces that roll good, then you can get that little 20% boost, or on ML Rin. So this is the kind of piece that if you are kind of slow right now, you can still roll this. So say if you have less than like 270 speed right now, you roll this. If it rolls into speed, you go again. If it rolls, like say this rolls 3 speed, go again. If it rolls 3 speed again, then you decide, is it worth putting more resources into? So, but you gotta not care about having that perfect speed gear. Like if you're going to be wanting to build Assassin's Creed Akoli, then you need to worry about it. But then if you're worrying about those units, it may be a year before you ever get the speed. That's a gear gotcha. So this is something like if you, like I said, if you're like early game and you see a piece like this, because effectiveness with speed is one of the most important things. Like a ring is insane to have with that. So we're going to go ahead and I'll just upgrade this one chest that I said was pretty potential-ish looking. So I'm going to go ahead and feed into this. And then we did not get it, but as I said, I go to +6 on any kind of red piece that is speed set. With speed. Well, honestly, I do, even if it's a higher roll on a different set, I'll still go into it. So right there, now I have to decide, is this worth doing? And so once you're at +6, you only have three rolls left. So technically you can get like 13 13 if you get a lucky 5 roll. It's very unlikely, but here is where you have to decide, is this going to be usable on something? Should I try for +9? I am personally going to try to +9 this. If it rolls 4 speed, I will keep. If it doesn't roll 4 speed, I'll get rid of. So you just need to set guidelines for yourself and work with those guidelines until you can hit above to a higher speed. So like this, another chess piece in the similar situation. This is one that I'm going to roll because it still has a potential. If this does roll 4 speed, then it's going to be a 17 speed piece after Reforge, because you get 1 speed for every speed roll you get 1 extra speed on the Reforge, but your base speed roll doesn't count. So if a piece starts with speed, or on a purple piece at the 4th roll of speed, it's every speed roll above the first one is what you're going to get extra with or on the Reforge. So with this, like I said, if I roll 4, 4, 4, it's going to be a 14. It's going to get 3 because I rolled into it 3 times. It's going to be a 17 speed piece with 19 effectiveness. That's an amazing piece. So that's where it gets hard, though, is it could roll speed, and then it bricks. But if you don't take those chances, or you don't roll pieces just because, like, say this piece had 4 speed here and it had health and crit chance, and you're like, or well, that would be a good piece actually. But say this health was 4 speed and it had effect res and crit chance, you're like, that's not very good, but it has 4 speed. If you don't roll this, you never have the opportunity to get into the speed game. So you have to roll mediocre pieces sometimes, and I have a lot of mediocre speed pieces, but I also am able to contest with people with speed because I did roll those crappy pieces. So it's a trade-off, but like speed is so important within this game. So is everything else, but a lot of people, that's just if you don't take the gamble, you're never going to get there. So I'm gonna go ahead and show what I was talking about. So on Fire Litica, this is the same as ML Ren. If you just go and take all 14 speed pieces, I have to take a 17 speed piece right here for that speed set, and then we're gonna go. That's 14 speed. Then this right here, that's 13 speed, and then the boots are already speed boots. So right here, this is 13 speed, and all the rest are 14 speed, but this is 17. So we'll take 1 away to add it to the ring, and that gives us 16. So we'll take 2 away, so we'll take 2 away from the total. It's 270 speed, and that can be done with all blue gear that rolled only twice into speed, and then you reforged it. So because 14 speed, you get the 2 speed rolls on a blue piece, you reforge, it's 14. So you can get 270 speed just off blue pieces. You can even have blue boots, and then that gives you on a Fire Litica or ML Ren, that's pretty good, but you're likely going to have pieces that are just like runaway. So where's a random, like this right here. So this, it had 4 speed when I started it. I continued to roll it because even though it's a Vectress set, I mean, it had good subsets anyway, but I would have rolled this no matter what, and it just ended up more speed. Pieces like this has 13 speed, Effectiveness, crit chance, but it's on Effectiveness set. Like a lot of people wouldn't roll this, but this reforges to 16 speed. So this is a 16 speed piece. And I mean, 16 speed's pretty good on a piece, but this is something a lot of people wouldn't roll. So you have to, if you want to play in the speed game, you have to just do things like this. So this is a free attack set. It went in a lot into attack, and it went into health. Who are you going to use this on? You're never going to use this on anything. If you use it on a broken set, on a unit like this, bang, you have 270 speed. With this is the average of 15 speed, or 14 speed. This is actually a better example. So 270 speed. This one has 15. This one has 13. So this could be all blue pieces of gear reforged. You're at 270 speed. So that is like the basis of looking into like how to get actually into the speed game. So the way like I said, if it's a purple piece with 4 speed, I'll roll it no matter what the set. If it's a purple piece with 3 speed on a speed set, I will roll it. And then if it's any other set with 3 speed, if it has good subs, I might try it, but otherwise probably not. So like say for example, this was purple. Well, hold on, do I have a purple piece I can show? I do not. Oh, this right here. So here, this right here. So say this was crit chance, 4 speed, and effect res. I probably wouldn't roll that if it had 4 speed. But if it was crit chance, attack, and 4 speed, I would probably roll this because it has the stats you kind of want, and then if it rolls really well, then you can throw it on a mix set and have another speed contestant unit. So that is, speed set always prioritizes more. If it's a 2 speed epic piece, I'll roll it. If it's a 3 speed purple piece, I'll roll it. Or if it's, early game, it's a 4 speed blue piece on speed set, you can roll it. Otherwise, going in to heroes now, one of the other things that you can do is look into the speed imprint options. This is one thing I've been doing more lately. So Green Sid is a fantastic unit. I have been trying to get him to work in RTA. He's been working actually really well. I've been being able to contest people with speed. I've been, because whenever I bring Sid and Mursa, 2 of the units that I'm using that are speed imprints right now, with that Fire Lica's 292 speed, then she is actually at 310 speed. Or if I bring them both with Falconer Clary, 10 speed plus 8 speed plus the 178, I'm actually at a 296 speed Falconer Clary. 296 speed, if they don't have speed imprints, you're going to outspeed most things within the game unless you're at like top tier legend and they have crazy speed, or you get speed RNG. So speed RNG is always the thing you have to deal with. But as you see right here, if you have speed boots and you can work with the other speed pieces you have, then you can go ahead and just do broken sets and compete within that genre. But Mursa is another fantastic unit when you're trying to do speed imprinting. Ruzid actually is really good too. He doesn't have the best base speed, but he also CR pushes and gives your team speed boost, so he's a good option to throw in. There's just many units that you can utilize to hit into the speed game. Okay, to wrap up this video, I just want to recap a couple things. So going in, if you want to try to push the speed game, if right now you're like fastest speed 250, then maybe look into rolling some blue gear with speed set blue gear And then also, if it's purple gear, if it starts with 4 speed, 3 speed on speed set, even if it has flat health, flat defense as the other 2 stats, then roll it for speed. If it gets up to, say, if it starts at 3, goes up to 7, roll it again, and then just keep recycling those pieces, just trying to get some speed, but while also watching for other sets that are good. If it's speed set for a attacking unit, or if it's for any kind of Soul Weaver tank, be sure to roll those too, or else you're going to be in a situation like me where all you have is kind of decent speed gear, and then you're all damage gear and you have no knights you can use. So just try to make sure you understand all the different gear. But the biggest takeaway from this video is if you never try for speed, you're never going to get speed. So just keep that in mind. If it's a piece that you think isn't the best, but it has speed on it, consider rolling it, or just don't be fast or forever. So hopefully this video helps some of you all that are trying to get into the speed game. Speed imprints are always a great choice. Surin's always there. Ruzid's always a good speed imprint. Watch Shuri's always a great option. I believe that's all of them. Maybe Celeste. Celeste is pretty good now too. So just keep in mind the speed imprint choices as well. But like I said, hopefully this helps you. If you're willing to subscribe, that'd be amazing. But it's been Mitch or Deity, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.